Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina. Thank you for on. Can you please click on like, click on share, so that I do know that you are here with us today. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallahu khaira for coming on the show. I'm just waiting for the guest speaker to join at the moment. Thank you so much. I see Philip Aliu. Welcome on the show. Thank you for joining in. Thank you everyone for coming in. And again, this is Her Excellency Hajia Amina with Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Ami. Thank you for joining us. I'm just waiting for the guest speaker to join us today. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. Jumat Mubarak, and may the Almighty Allah continue to make everything good for all of us. If you're here, kindly click on like, share, or comment so that way I can give you a shout out to know that you're here. I'm still waiting for Mr. Abdullahi Shita to join us on the program, and he's the guest speaker today. Thank you all for coming in. Hey, Yemisi, how are you? I do see Yemisi from Instagram. Welcome on the show. So we're waiting for the guest speaker to join us. So bear with us. And I hope everybody's day is going well. And how is everybody doing? So click on like, click on share, invite family and friends to come and learn from this, so that way we can change the world together. Awesome. I do see Abdullahi Chita here, probably with his other account. Let me see. Okay, awesome. So I'm just adding him right now on the show, and it's showing adding, and we could take it from there. Alhamdulillah. It's working perfectly well. So, and we'll get there. He's here.
Aja, how are you?
Hey, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Welcome on the show,
Yeah,
on the
Haja,
program.
welcome. Yeah, welcome.
I cannot hear you. I'm not sure if it's just me
Okay,
or
it's
if it's
like I'm
everybody.
using this earpiece. I don't know whether you can hear me or I should just take it
I
off.
think maybe the earpiece is why I'm not hearing. I'm not sure. I can hear you, but not too well.
Okay, let
So
me
I'm not
remove
sure if
the.
they can hear you very well. Can you
Is it
guys hear
okay?
him on Facebook? I know he logged in through Facebook. So my Instagram people would not be able to view you, but that's fine. They can hear you.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me.
I think you would need to make it a little bit louder for
I
them
don't know.
to be able to
Okay.
hear you.
Let me get this
Let me see.
closer.
Let me just make this here.
Or, the output should be directly from you.
It's like I cannot hear you. I'm not sure about them, but for me,
I still
it's like
connected back.
it's still connecting back. Okay.
Yeah. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's not really,
Wow.
it's not really loud. Can you guys comment to let us know if you can hear him on Facebook? I can hear you, but it's not really like
Yeah, but
like I
I
have
can
to
hear you
stand up
very
to hear
clear.
you. So
Oh, it's because you are far from
I'm not
your
far from
speaker.
it. I'm right here.
Yeah, you're a bit far from it. Because if you come close, you can hear me, but I can hear you very clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear him? Can you please comment so that I know if you guys can
Uh,
hear
because
him?
I think we haven't got any follower yet because it didn't show on the screen that someone is.
All right.
Yeah. So how do we begin? Wait for people to log in, or shall we just begin,
Okay.
or should?
Philip Aliyu said I can hear both of you, so that's awesome. So
Okay.
right now, you can actually go ahead and tell us about who Hypocrite Imam is.
Yeah, that's very good. It is important to know who is an imam or what the word imam means because a lot of people may have a different perspective or perception or definition of what they think an imam is. Right away, imam in Arabic, that's in literal Arabic meaning, it means a leader or a role model. A leader or a role model in Arabic terms. Yeah, but it has a legal meaning, which is in general sense, one who leads Muslim worshippers in prayers, Yeah, and it has also a global, in a global sense or global meaning. Imam used to refer to the head of the Muslim community. Yeah, yeah. So all praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His aid and ask His forgiveness. Uh, and I testify Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is His final messenger and perfect worshiper. So we begin. Uh, when we talk about hypocrite imam, people will be wondering how comes, because these are people that were held with high esteem in the society or in the community. People don't usually, it's very hard to see people believing that people like that will be hypocrite or will be associated with anything like hypocrisy. But they are humans like us. So it is important to know that not just imam in some way or the other, we all, or we may be hypocrites too. But are we totally honest and truthful at all times? I doubt that. Uh, but with reference to imam, they are humans, and the human condition is that uh, we are flawed humans. Humans generally are weak. Uh, because we are all mortals. The question here is to what extent that imams are hypocrites? Possibly to the same extent that members of the Catholic clergy are hypocrite because they join the church to minister to minister their own desire of pedophilia. Some imams may be no different to that, because we have been hearing a lot of pedophilia cases, uh, some cases of rape and etc. in the Roman Catholic Church, but we haven't heard about imams or sheikhs and the rest involving in such a thing in in media. But unfortunately, they are no different to that, because even God Almighty Himself have revealed to us that they are no exception. Uh, they may be so far access to money, fame, power, just like other normal human being. It is true that being imam, they are held to a higher standard than us mere humans are. In Islam, we are all to aspire to the paradigm of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imams typically better aspirants than we normal are. So to reiterate as to why they are flawed. Um, Hypocrisy, God Himself revealed to us, because there is a chapter in the Quran, chapter 63 in Quran. It calls the Surah of Hypocrite, Al-Munafiqun. So to show you that they really exist, and nobody is exception to that. God Himself tried to God Himself revealed, not tries, I'm sorry, revealed signs of hypocrisy to us. In Quran chapter 63, verse 4, Surah Al-Munafiqun, when you look at them, God says, I quote, when you look at them, their exteriors pleases you. When they speak, you listen to their words. They are up, they are worthless as hollow pieces of timber, propped up, unable to stand on their own. They think that every cry is against them. They are the enemies, so beware of them. The curse of Allah be on them, how deluded they are from the truth. So God Himself is telling you to beware of such people, because He Himself defined their signs. He revealed their signs to you so that you'll be able to identify them wherever you are. Because at times, people, get confused. They just have this belief. It's like a dogma in them that these people will never, they really trust them, and that's why they were called hypocrite, because they betrayed that trust. And it's possible. So amongst the signs we have, when God says uh, 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 they hide their faces. So they have the ability to hide their face. These people, they are professional. They have the ability to hide their faces, because when you look at them, their exteriors pleases you. They look innocent. They look just as the way they pleases you. Yeah, they also that they have this professionalism, the ability to hide their face, because they know they are hypocrite. That's why they are hypocrites. Uh, the hypocrites were handsome men during the times of the revelation, the prophetic time. History tells us that Abdullah bin Ubaid was at that time, during the prophet time, is the head of the hypocrites, and his followers were mostly handsome men. In some circumstance, uh, they use their good looks for profit, because these people are professional, because they know that that's why they say they hide their faces, because they use it. They have a different motive behind that, so that's why they try to hide their face, so that you trust them, you believe them. From their looks, you feel that, oh, this one is innocent. They can't hurt you. They can't. We have a lot of them. That's why God say they hide their faces, because if you see them, they look trustworthy. This is not from, this is I'm not is not my thinking, is not me. It's God Himself that is telling us this. Amongst us, uh, there are people like that. He is not just talking to uh, unbelievers, or a Christian, or a pagan, or whatever, but He is talking directly to the Muslims, you know, and in general. Because these signs that God revealed to us, you can find it mostly on this kind of people. So meanwhile, they make it, they use it for their own, to make profit out of it, because they are there for something. They have their exterior motive behind everything. So due to these historical circumstances surrounding this verse, I think I cannot take the appealing appearance of the hypocrite as a general principle, because not all handsome men are hypocrite, because you find some handsome men, they are really what their face shows. They are really like that, because I cannot just generalize fact uh, that all handsome men are, because they have these good looking faces. They are handsome. Even the time of the prophet, most of these people, they look handsome. They look trustworthy, like they are righteous people. So people trust them, and they even come to mosques. They are just the way they are. So yeah, the hypocrite, when you look at them, their exterior pleases you, as God says. They hide their true face in front of the believers. They always hide their true faces. Why? Because when they come to you, they show that they are real. Yeah, we are this, we are that, we are trustworthy. You can trust us. At the end of the day, they hide their true color. That's why God revealed to us that there are people like that. They may come, they may preach word of God to you, but these people, from the inside, they really have their own exterior motive, because they really hide their true color. And these are people, the way they conduct themselves with peace and tranquility will please anyone. Their conduct, it will please you. You will love them. You will like them. You will like to associate with them. You know. They are the believers, or anyone will think to be them to be righteous individual wherever you find them. So a general or a prevailing principle is formed. Hypocrites hide their faces. That's one thing, because they hide their faces to cover up their hypocrisy. That is the fact. And that's what God is telling us, and find a place amongst the believers, while in reality, they are predators. These people are predators, because they are coming for something. Is what God says. Yeah. So, and and they hold deep-rooted animosity. Of course, this peace and tranquility does not prevent them from speaking their mind at necessary times. So you won't just, at times they come to you, they will show themselves. That's the thing. They won't feel shame to ask of what they want, because they believe that you psychologically believe that, yeah, this person is a righteous person. Whatever he says is true, and you believe him. You give him that trust. Yeah, that's one good about them. And they both outspoken and eloquent speakers. That's another sign of them. They are eloquent speakers. This point is very clear. The hypocrite does not believe what he is pretending to be. He does not believe that he knows that he is not that person. He is not the righteous person. He is not the imam. He is not that trustworthy person. He is not the bishop. He is not the priest. He knows. He knows that. He really knows that. So yeah. So he knows that he is not that person that he's pretending to be. That one is clear. He knows, he believes, because it's God that is revealing to us that, their mind, what they think, God has already revealed to us. So sometimes he thinks that others can understand that he is a hypocrite, so he tries to cover up these feelings of theirs by being generous in his speech. So that's why when they come to talk to you, they try to be generous, incongruence, they show incongruence, and they try to show as if they do care, and they are really telling you the truth. That's why that guiltiness will make them to they are really professional in that. Yeah. Yeah, that's how God made them to be, because they are hypocrite. That's it. So the hypocrite tried to gain trust by paying attention to his target, because I can't call him I
A
can't call it I
narcissist.
can't what believers right now. Huh?
A narcissist.
Yeah. Yeah, his target, whatever person he's trying to get, he pays attention to that person, serious attention on, okay, he really observed that person, he pays attention to whatever that person says, whatever that person is doing, so that he can be able to come up. Yeah.
Because after knowing
So
your
that's it.
weak point, then they strike.
Very, yeah, exactly. That's why he pays that attention, because he will
Because
know
that's
your
what a
weakness,
narcissist
and
does.
how he will get to, yeah, an artist. Yeah, exactly. So he's just, they are just pretenders, they are just actors,
Oh,
they're just
yes.
acting.
They always act.
Yeah, yeah. Because they are not real. At the very least, we should consider the possibility that one is speaking this way to trick us, not because they care for us. Because at times they do talk as if they care, but they don't really care, because
Absolutely.
they have their aim
And their
deep rooted
agenda.
in. Yeah. Deep rooted animosity, Yeah. So, and we have the third a sign that I will be talking about is they are as worthless as hollow piece of timber. That's how God described them. It's a description that they are like that. A hypocrite at that time of revelation will enter the mosque and sit leaning against the wall. At the end of the wall, they did not gain the least. They did not get the least out of that revelation or the prophetic words. As in, they were there, but it's not what the prophet is saying that they were really interested in. They have their own mission. They were just there so that people will look at them and say, yeah, these people are, companions. They are part of the prophet. They are listening. They are good Muslims. They are believers, so that a believer will see them tomorrow on the street and say, yeah, I saw you. You are in the mosque when the prophet was giving that sermon. That's not what brought him there. He was there to just, it's like an optical illusion.
Monitoring spirit, we call them now.
What?
We call them monitoring spirit right now.
Yeah, money. Yeah,
Like some
exactly.
would come and watch you, but don't want you to know they're here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did not understand the reality. They were like, spiritus bodies or dry stick. They are spiritus, yeah, just like you said, they are spiritus bodies or dry stick. That's how, yeah, exactly. Exactly, because that's how God described them. Because when he talked about worthless as hollow piece of timber popped up, you know, that's how God described them in the Quran.
Well,
So yeah, so why God called them worthless, hollow, or pieces of timber dropped popped up, because yeah, you begin to wonder whether there is a soul in their body. Depicting them as a piece of timber leaning against the wall shows uh, they are useless existence, because their existing is not useful. They are just useless. That's what God is trying to let you know, that these people, they are useless. They add nothing. They add nothing to your life rather than destruction.
and misery.
Yeah, they are worthless. Yeah, it's misery. They'll just put you in a misery and just leave you there. Yeah. Yeah, because when you use, because wood is useful when you use for work or holding up a building. That's why God described them as a wood, a piece of wood popped up, because they are just leaning. They are just wood. We know wood is only useful when you are using it, when you are working with it, when you use it to support a building or something.
Mhm.
But when a wood is just leaning, is nothing. It add nothing. It's supposed no. It's just a waste. Yeah, that's how it is. Because that's why God used wood to describe them. Yeah, it is not being used. It's just not profitable at all. Yeah, depicting them like a piece of wood, timber wood, can also mean that they are like dry wood in front of natural disaster. They do not show the smallest amount of compassion. Yeah, they did not show compassion, because in Arabic, kashab, because there's the word kashab in that ayah, it means wood, a dry wood devoid of softness, or metaphorically compassion. Yeah, in Arabic, it's translated like that. Yeah, because in the surah, you see that word kashab there. Yeah, so showing the correct amount of sympathy in the event, in the face of event, is a sign of a belief. So they never show that sympathy, because they lack that compassion, because they have their own exterior motive. That's after they gain, after you fall victim to them, you start seeing that kind of behavior from them. You wonder as if they have soul. They behave as if they don't have soul.
Because
That's
they're
when they show
heartless.
you their true color. Yeah, when they show you their true color. This sign, this last, the third sign I'm discussing is after these people gain access, after they successfully get their target. That's when the target is only the target that will know, that will see them. They are just, he will later understand this person is worthless. This is how they are. Yeah, a lot of people fall victim to hypocrisy, especially in clergymen. When I mean clergymen, like the imam, all these uh, men of God. Yeah, a lot of people fall victim to them. So they are just opportunistic. Opportunistic people do not have a clear aim in life. They don't have a clear aim in life. That's why you find them going one after the other. They will do this, they will involve in that. They're always looking for
Everywhere.
any opportunity. Yeah, they are everywhere. They are
They can't
everywhere.
sit in one place. It's like they have to be everywhere, that they're confused.
Exactly. That's why they don't have aim in life.
They don't
They did
have
not keep
aim.
anything.
They want to be seen with
And they did
everyone
not keep
to
any
so
principle.
that people
Yeah,
would think they're friends with everybody.
yeah, exactly. And they did not keep principle. These people, they
They
don't
do
have
not.
principle.
They don't have
Yeah,
boundaries.
yeah, exactly. They throw, they always throw all their principles aside when various circumstances appear in their life. Whenever they get this, there's this circumstance for them to gain what they want. They throw that principle away. You see them begging. You see them, a lot of things, a lot of unusual things, that's not supposed to be associated with a divine person. So they throw that principle away wherever they have their target, or they want to do something, or they need something. They are supposed to be principled. Yeah. but at times they will betray you. Where is the principle? That's it. They are just ambitious and opportunistic. That's how they are. Yeah. So you see, compassion people will make peace with public and even with their enemies. They will rather hold their principles, than make extra little profit. A person with a compassionate heart, he wouldn't mind, he wouldn't throw his principle away. He will never do that. At the least, he will not do that. But you see, these people, they are opportunistic. The hypocrites. That's one great sign of a hypocrite. He will never uphold to his principle. He will throw it away whenever the opportunity comes to him. He won't let it go. He will want to benefit from that. Yeah. So the prophet, define he described them as you know like 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 the example he gave was yeah, in nature, because even in nature, in nature, it shows us that a tornado discriminates between it does not discriminate between young and old trees, flower plants and the rest. Fields of garden full of plants do not show resistance, because these are the word of proof. They do not show resistance against tornado. Flowers, all this, they don't show resistance against tornado. They bow down while tornado passes by. You see them, wind will be blowing them. They are flexible. That's what it's trying to say. They are flexible, wind will be blowing all these plants and trees, they will go down, and then in a minute after the tornado passes by, they will come up. Do you understand? I don't know if my listeners will really get what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah, it's a description of example of how these people are, how they are, because
Because
they
they're
are
not
just,
stable.
that's why. Yeah, because they are described. No, they were described as piece of wood. When God described them as piece of wood, plants, they are flexible. They do, when tornado comes, they pass by. When tornado is passing by, they do bend and lift up again. But a wood, a dry wood is not the same case with a dry wood, because in contrast to this, the dry trees, they lack such flexibility, and they try to resist the tornado but are destroyed after only a few minutes, because they don't bend, and the tornado, the strong wind, is strong, it will just break them and pass, while the leaves, the plants, it bend. The wind will blow it, you'll be seeing the flowers going like this. They are flexible, and they will rise. That's why you see it's one of uh in the commentaries, like because the prophet described them like such, because in nature they use nature to describe them, because these are to show you that they are worthless, worthless spiritual bodies. Yeah, they are worthless in existence. They whatever thing they are doing, they may get destroyed at the end. So we should be very careful on this kind of people. Yeah. So I think
Thank you
it's
so
up
much
to you.
for that
Yeah. But I have to
explanation.
say, yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
a message from one of the members from my inbox, and I do want you
Okay.
guys to listen. That's why we had this live today.
Yeah.
If you are
Someone
an
is saying
imam,
he can't hear. Mm.
somebody saying he cannot hear.
Yeah, I can see Philip Ali.
Somebody
I
said they
can,
can
okay,
hear.
I can hear both. Okay, he said he can hear both. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. They can hear, right?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
everybody
they can
hear
hear.
me? And can you hear Abdullahi? Can you type in to let us know if you cannot hear us?
Yeah, they can hear you.
They can hear us,
Because
right? Okay.
someone just,
So
yeah.
at Sharing Life Issues with Her Excellency Hajia Amina, we got a message from a member. And
Okay.
here we are asking you, if you are
Yeah.
an imam, would you say that you did not know about the person's, so you're going to do nikah. Nikah is the Muslim wedding that
Yeah.
people, that the imam, would go out to do, and we
Yeah.
call it akidu too.
Yeah.
So this particular imam stated that he didn't know that he was going to do akidu. Akidu is like the wedding, the Islamic wedding,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
this sister and the brother. The brother who this sister got married to was a leader at the mosque with the same imam. They were from the same mosque.
Okay.
But unfortunately for her, she met this brother through the mosque. And after that, he kind of like manipulated her into thinking that, we really need to quickly get married because Islamically, we're not supposed to do boyfriend, girlfriend, and things like that because we will be committing adultery. And
Yes. 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 That's true. Yeah. You
which
see,
is,
it's one of.
Abdullah said is true.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. But
Yeah. When they speak, you listen to their words. They are just. That's
they're
how they
very
are.
vast.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're very
Yeah. 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 Their exteriors pleases you. It's just what God says. So they have this ability to hide their face, and they are both outspoken and eloquent speakers. They are very eloquent. So you'll be convinced. You'll be convinced.
yes.
Yeah.
So
God
she said
says that.
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue. I
So
mean, God. Yeah.
okay.
Sorry to cut.
All right. No, that's okay. So she said this was somebody that she did not even have interest on. She did not know how all of a sudden overnight she started having interest on him. Can you tell us something that the Quran says about jazz?
Wow. You see, jazz is a sin, is shirk, because this jazz that they are doing, they are invoking some spiritual bodies. They are worshiping other spirit bodies, because in the Quran, God says that these people, these bodies, these spirits, the jinns that they send, they try to reach where uh, God passes message, and they hear nothing. They come back to them and tell them some lies, fabricate lies, and a lot of things, and they control them. They ask them to go and do this. They will tell you, go and sleep with a dog. We'll give you this, and God, himself says he redeem who he wants, and lead who he wants astray. Because if he wants to be astray, God will lead you astray. If he wants to be redeemed, God will redeem you. Yeah, is shirk, because it's listed among the shirk, because it's not God thing. Anything jazz is not from God, because the prophet gave us a lot of du'as. How we have seen hadith of the prophet on how he does things. He has never done invoke from any other places. So they are invoking from spirit. Anything jazz, because it's bad. Yeah, yeah, because historically in Islam, the Jews, when they used to even the story of Moses. Practical, yeah, example is the story of Moses, the book of Moses. In the book of Moses, we find this story that during the Pharaoh, he likes to do that kind of just thing. When Moses came with his stick, it's God that gave him that stick. His snake swallowed all of them, so that they will believe that his God that he served, that gave him that power, is the Almighty. Yet, but they didn't believe that. Yeah, because they didn't believe that, because they invoke from their own spirit. The Pharaoh, during his time. Yeah, it is because the story of jazz, when you find in Quran, is mostly in the story of Moses, and which is shirk. That is shirk, because it's not from God. Yeah, it's
Okay, so
very
when
bad. No,
people do jazz, they do it with the intention that you do what they ask you to do, right? Like
anything
you wouldn't
about
have
jazz,
your you
evil.
wouldn't have, like, you wouldn't know what you're doing while you're,
Yeah,
doing what you're
yeah, they
doing.
may put you in a hypnotic state.
Okay.
you know you'll be controlled remotely, like you'll be like a remote control, because
And you
they have
wouldn't know what
taken.
you're doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's real, because even the prophet time, they did that to him. in a well they throw, is it, I think, in a meat, yeah, a Jew, just him, to show you this, to the extent that that's why, God tried to show you that, yeah, this thing is real. This jazz they are doing is real. And there are people like that, because even the prophets fall victim to them.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why God gave him prayers that he will be doing. You see, like this Kul Hu Allahu Ahad and Falaki and Surah An-Nas, these three, when reciting them, and Ayatul Kursi, they protect one from all these things. That's why in every prayer you have to recite it before you sleep, and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
So this just and it's shirk. It's
Okay.
totally forbidden and it's shirk.
All right.
Yes, because they are not getting it from God. They are getting it from their spiritist bodies, their gods.
Okay. All right. So I'll go back to explain the case again.
Okay.
This sister, like I said, got
Yes.
involved with this brother who happened to
Yes.
be an elder, also a leader. He
Yes.
used to be a leader at the mosque. He's no longer a leader there, but he used to be part of the,
Yeah.
the
So you
people.
see, yeah. That's why the word imam is always leader and role model. As long as you are one of the mosque committee member or whatever thing you are, because you, in the absence of the appointed imam, you may lead, because you are the leaders of the mosque, and you are the kind of people are looking up to, for justice, for righteousness, for moral thing and whatever. So these are people that they are already in the divine fold. They are supposed to be having this high esteem conduct wherever they go. That's why the hypocrite among them, they do conduct themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They do conduct themselves. So that's why God is trying to let you know that there are people of God that you think they are, but they are not.
Not absolutely.
Yeah. So you should be aware. Even God Himself. So you should be aware. He's telling the prophet, and not just the prophet, because since the message has gotten to us, He is communicating to us now that we should be aware amongst us. There are people like that. They come to you like they are, men of God. They are trustworthy. They have these righteous looking faces that you believe in them. They speak eloquently, but God described them as a hollow piece of wood.
Nafikun.
Yes, yeah, popped up. They are just hanging there. They lack soul. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nafikun.
Yes, there's the Munafik. That's the name of the surah, because it's a surah, a chapter on its own,
Mm-hmm.
to talk about people. Yes.
All right. So going back to this story,
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah.
this leader at the mosque brainwashed this sister
Oh.
and told her they had to get married right away. And why he was doing that, because he was saying he did not have a green card, because this happened in America. This happened over here. That he did not have a green card, he needed to have his papers. He kind of brainwashed her, blackmailed her in a way that she was feeling like, so, like she felt like I had to do it. And at that point, like we said, this is somebody that she said at first, she did not even like this guy. That all of a sudden, she started liking him. She did not know how that happened. We'll get back to that.
Wow.
I told
Wow.
Abdullahi to
Wow.
explain what the Quran says about jazz. But we'll get there. I wanted you guys to know what Islam says about that before we get there. So at this point, this guy used to live in that state where they both were before he moved out of that state and went to another state. However, he came back to that state so he can marry her.
Wow.
So immediately he came. 2 days after, she said the pressure was so much that he told her that they had to do akidu. We have to do akidu. Akidu is like the wedding. Yes. And some call it the nikah. That we have to do akidu and it has to be right away. Wow. Now, she said she is a US citizen, of course. So he was always saying, oh, you don't care about me. This is like a relationship that was less than months. But she was like, the pressure was so much. And this was the era of like Trump, where he was saying, you know, things will be changed, policies will be changed, and things like that. So this brother told this lady that we have to do the wedding right away. And she did not know what happened. The next thing she could hear is the imam is coming tomorrow. The imam is coming tomorrow and he's going to, you know, do the akidu. Akidu is like the wedding. So to her surprising, the imam came over to their house to do the akidu. And the imam pretended that, well, she said, it might be pretended because the imam said he did not know that she was the one the guy was getting married to, because he did not tell her. The guy did not tell him that he was getting married to this girl. So I want you guys to be listening and be answering. Is there any way that you'll be an imam and then somebody would not tell you who they are getting married to and you'll go and join them together?
It's not possible because
it's not possible. Great.
Yeah, because the imam is supposed to know who you are getting married to. He wants to know their family, because in marriage, what the key thing in marriage is the wali and the wakil. Yeah, the one from the husband and the one from the groom. The one from the grooms, that's the groom's family and the bride's family. The one that will do the nikah, that will give out the bride, and the one that will receive the bride. Because these are the most important people there, and then witnesses. So a wedding is just comprises of the imam, the giver, the taker, and 2 witnesses. So 5 people yeah, 5 of them, yeah, they can go on with that, or even 6, maybe the groom may be there. Yeah. So this is how a nikah is done in Islam. These are the most important people, because there have to be witness. Those that witness from the groom and from the bride and others from outside, so that tomorrow you won't see these 2 people working together and you think they are just committing adultery or whatever thing. They are wedding. Yeah, that's why we need the witness, the giver from the groom, and the giver from the bride, and the receiver from the groom, and the sadaki.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the dowry.
So
Yeah,
going back to the story,
yeah.
This guy brought his own friend, so probably that's his own witness, and the imam telling her that, you know, she does not have to tell every other person about it. They got married.
What?
After they got married, he started pressurizing her to file for him, you know, for the papers. And she was like, I'm not the immigration. There's a process. And this guy was married to an African American. So, of course, he has to go through divorce, of which in America, you're not even supposed to marry 2 people at the same time. So,
Okay.
he was going through, so he had to file divorce with, you know, the African American before he was even supposed to do all this akidu in the first place. But I guess that's another story for another day. Here we're here to talk about the imam and, you know, how leaders are doing things in a hypocritical way. So
that is why they are predators and
yes,
hold deep-rooted
they are
animosity, of
predators.
course.
You're right. That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. Because 2 of them are leaders. And like you said, no matter what he was at the mosque, because he used to be a leader before he resigned
Because
from being
he
what he
hide his
was
true
at that
color.
mosque.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely they are what you just called them. But to get to the next line, she noticed that after they got married, he was very secretive with his phone. And later on, things started unveiling that he was having affairs with the people, like women from their mosques. Like even some were married women that he was sleeping with. Like she would see text messages where they, you know, a married woman who happened to be a nurse was calling, who had, you know, 3 kids, was calling this guy babe, you know, sexy, I cannot sleep at 2 a.m. in the night. So she was so worried, and she was like, honey, what is going on? And he was like, oh, you just have you're just having insecurity problem. It's not a big deal. She's my bestie. We call each other bestie. And she was like, you call a
That's what's
married
trending.
woman.
That's what's sorry to get this bestie thing. That's what's trending here.
It's
Because
trending, I know. Bestie. A married
they'll call
Al-Hajja. She's Hajia too. She's Hajia. This person that he's having his nonsense with is also a Hajia. Somebody who has been to Hajj. Like he said, even if you've been to Hajj, that does not make you any better. That does not make me any better. You know? Only Allah, like I always say, know who is worshiping him. Sometimes some people that are naked out there might be worshiping God more than me that I'm dressed like this sometimes. So, like I said, it's only God.
People that, exactly. There are people that, the curse of Allah has already been on them. So it's the curse of Allah. Allah have cursed them.
Yeah.
So they will always be like that. And that, like he says, he redeemed whom wants to redeem and leads who him wants to lead to go astray. If you want to go astray, God will let you go.
Absolutely.
Because you seek this, you seek astray. You seek this, you seek that, God will give you. You think that you are doing good, but at the end, God will finally, put you in shame.
Deal with you and show you the way. So, as I was saying, this sister was now more inquisitive because she said, I was not even picking his call at the, I was not snooping, but something happened that, just made me glance through the phone, and all of a sudden, his baby, my love. And then that was not the only person that he was messing with. She said there was a doctor that he was sleeping with who was also married, whose husband was in Nigeria, who happened to be going to that mosque. So if it were you, would you keep quiet, or would you react? Or would you just say, oh, the woman is insecure, that's why she's questioning him? Because we need answers. That's why we have this show today. That's why we brought this on this show today, because we want the viewers to tell us, what would you have done as a wife? Would you just keep quiet, seeing all these happenings? And then he sent, after she spoke to him, he changed his password, that he was always changing password. He was always sleeping with his phone. He would go to the bathroom with his phone. He would poop with his phone. Even when he's sleeping, the phone has to be in his pocket. He said even when they're having sex, to crown it all, that phone has to be in a secured place. That was how crazy it was. She said she kept taking it, but at a point she couldn't take it any longer. Something like, sometimes women's intuition will tell you something is wrong. You need to check yourself. She said, but she wanted her marriage to work, so she was kind of careful about it. At a point, she said there were some things that were naked pictures and all that she saw on his phone. She said then she started deleting pictures so that he knows that she's aware of what is going on. Like she was not confronting him because she did not want to fight him, but she was indirectly deleting pictures that she would then see pictures of women from their mosques. And these are the people that during the daytime, they pretend like they don't even talk to him. They will be calling him Alpha, Alpha Baoni, Shewapa, Shewapa, Alpha Baoni, Kinika. Like I'm speaking Yoruba because that's what they speak. That, how do I...
Yoruba community.
Yeah.
I thought it's African, like
it's a
Black
Yoruba
American
community, but these particular women, like the nurse that I explained, the person who was the victim stated that person was a Yoruba, and the Hausa doctor was a Hausa. The doctor, the female one that has the husband in Nigeria, was a Hausa. So it was so crazy that she could see everything. She's like, I looked, that made me go back to look at his phone. And I looked at it, and he has been sleeping with them since 2017, 2016. And here we are in 2021. She's like, I was like, what did I get myself into? She said, each time I talk, he would say that I'm crazy, I'm insecure. And that what he did was isolate her from people, even the people from the mosque. When few of them that she connects with want to come out to greet her, he would tell her, oh, if you have them come over, I wouldn't be here. You know, you shouldn't do that. You should let our marriage be. We have to keep our marriage. Anything you let people know, it's evil eyes, evil eyes. So he manipulated her to the extent that he was not associating with these people anymore longer. But he would go associate with them.
Wow.
So he will go out, associate with these people, but we tell her not to associate with them. And then we tell her some of them are not saying nice things about her. But why would a man that is telling you that people are not saying nice things about you, you know, be there, okay, with them, you know, talking about you that way? So that's what I do not understand. She said when this thing was so much that she couldn't take, she started telling her sister started talking to him. And of course, it's like the African way. The sister would say, be patient, let your marriage work. Stop checking his phone and let him be. But as time goes on, like it was getting crazier. That this guy would tell her he does not have money. She would be the one, you know, paying the bills, doing everything. At the end of the day, he does side work teaching people, you know, side work. So when he gets that money, he will pretend and tell her sometimes that, you know, they did not pay him. Even his friends, even a friend that came to the nikah, he was like, oh, the friend did not pay him. That he's just teaching them for free for now. They're supposed to pay, but they're not paying. Then she's like, they are not paying you. What kind of thing is this? You know, we are both in this America. You have to pay your electric bill. You have to pay internet. You have to let the students know that there has to be a structure. If you're doing it for free, do it for free. But if you know you're not doing it for free, you have to explain to them. And you have to have like a duration that you just see him like from morning to night. He's just on the computer, you know, doing all sorts of things. Then she started talking about it, that this is like out of the way. And if they are not paying you, how comes sometimes, you know, you're getting a lot? Then it's like, oh, it's for something different, you know? So, but left to her, she was already seeing that these people were paying him, but he was thinking that she was a fool, like a mumu. So he kept doing his, you know, stuff. So at that point, she was not bothering him, asking him about money or anything. She kept doing all what she had to do. He was comfortable. So later on, she had to speak up that you're giving me a lot of pressure because I'm getting sick. I'm losing myself. What else are you looking for? You know, I did not ask to marry you. You were begging me to marry me. And I did not want to marry you. I don't even know how come I married you. So how did we get in here? And he was just like, oh, yeah, just, you know, insecure. What is the big deal? Then she said, I want to know your female friends then. There is no big deal on you having female friends. But why can't I know them? Then he was like, oh, you don't have to know anybody. She's like, I told you everything about my life. And when it was time for you to tell me about your past, you said Islamically, we're not supposed to do that. But here you are still keeping your ex. And they are not even your ex because you're still messing with them. That there was a fateful day that this, one of the people that he was messing with traveled to Nigeria. And all of a sudden, she was texting him that, oh, bestie, are you not answering? She couldn't sleep. Where are you? And things like that. And the next thing she could see is him sending money. The person that was saying that he does not have money at home. So she said at that point, she looked at herself like, look at the person I'm helping, but he's out there giving people money when he's not doing anything with the, you know, money in the house. She said at that point, she was like, what is going on? That she then started praying more. She said then somebody was lucky to tell her that something is wrong somewhere. that you were jazzed,
Wow.
that you did not marry him on your own, that this guy jazzed you. And that was when she started praying more and she started fasting more. And then things started going really bad. Because when she said, I did not believe in jazz, but I just had to listen. She said, and that moment I listened, that she realized that he just started acting up. Like 1 minute he would, he wouldn't be able to talk in the house. He was not picking up calls in the house. Like he would go out and talk and do all sorts of things. And that period, like she was so depressed that she was losing herself. And then she was like, why is it that you don't sleep when people are sleeping? Then he was like, oh, you're just insecure thinking I'm doing other things. I'm not doing anything. So at that point, she told him that, I already told you, you can have female friends. But why is it that you're so insecure that you're hiding your phone? What is this about your phone that you have to hide? Then he started shouting, saying, it's his privacy. He does not have to show you how his phone, that his phone is his phone. And that is it about it. You're a woman, Islamically, you don't dare tell me what to do. So she was now like, I don't dare tell you what to do. But we were married. And we were married in America. If we're married, we're one. I'm not hiding my own phone. He's like, that's your choice. I do not want to see your phone because I did not say I did not trust you. You're the one that have trust issues. She said at that point, she let it go and stopped checking. She said even for over a year, she did not pick up his call or check anything. She said, I've never picked up his call anyways, but each time the phone rings, like immediately she wants to even grab it, he would run. If it was on the charger, he would run and, grab the phone. That was how horrible this relationship was. She said, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm wondering, as in, it's just, God is just great.
God is great. Allahu Akbar. Wallahi.
In Surah to Munafiqun, this chapter 64, all these things you are saying and what we've discussed today, this man you're talking about has really fallen onto that. All those signs that God is talking about. So I'm surprised. I'm just wondering how this thing, this story, this life thing that happened just come up as it's just exact what God is just saying.
No,
This man practically
did what was in the Quran, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
God is great. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm such a
No, that's okay. So so she said things got worse. That from, oh, you're the best, you're my darling, you're this, he would call the family and say good things about her. Of course, because she was the one feeding him, doing everything. And then all of a sudden she became bad because she was telling the mother, this is what your son is doing. I'm here. I did not want to get married. He begged me to get married to him. And this is the way he's treating me now. And she was like, he was always pestering her about paper. That was all he was always talking about. How he will do paper, how she will bring money out for business, how, she gave him money and all that. That one is another story for another day. We will be coming back on that. This one, we are just hitting on how would Imam say that he was not aware that he is joining two people together and he did not know who the bride was until he got to the venue. So be sure to be writing out things on that comment section.
But there's one important thing.
Yes.
Was there any representative from the bride's side? Like,
so the bride's side did not approve him to get married to her. So that
marriage void. That marriage
is invalid.
Then it's invalid
because they sensed it that he wanted to use her for papers.
Oh, you see,
they sensed it that he wanted to use her for green card. But she said out of nowhere, after I finished explaining to him that, we have to wait, that she just started, saying that she was just doing yes. That was why we talked about jazz.
Yeah,
that all
yeah.
of a sudden,
Because I don't know. It's just unbelievable.
she said
You know,
all of a
something
sudden, the person
hasn't
who
reached
I
that
couldn't
imam.
stand,
That imam that stood for that wedding. Mm, he's to be. You know, he's like he he's a hypocrite too. Because if he is truly an imam, he knows the criteria, he knows the principle, he knows the ethics of what he's doing, that he's trying to do.
so
He is not supposed to conduct anything like that without uh, uh,
so she
um,
so
all
what she
the-
said was she had a sister that she begged and called during their akidu. Because when he was talking to her, he was like, you do not need to tell anybody that this imam and my friend, that the imam told him that the two people from his side are the only people that are needed for the wedding. And she told him, I did not fall from the tree. At least I need one person from my family to know about it. She said, so she begged one of her sister that they called over the phone from Nigeria that, we need to have your blessings and things like that. She said he was so mad when the sister was responding because you could tell from the sister's voice that she was not happy about it. But she was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But that went on like that. That was like the sister that they were calling to report things to, tell what was going
yeah,
on and things like that.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, to cut the long story short, after this guy was done using this girl, and when she has started, asking questions about women that he was sleeping with at the mosque, she said he would be writing even people that, like he would be using the DICK words and all that. It is big. How would a Muslim leader be writing that to a female sister over WhatsApp that, his stuff is big? He's very big. And the other ones will be, responding. And he loves and craves attention from people, because that was his job, to make sure that he's around people at the mosque. So he always pretended that he has to attend to people, not knowing that he was attending to half of the married women that he has slept with at that mosque. So that was his business, that he targets people that are married and people that are single mothers, people that have children. Those are his victims that he desperately needed to make sure he has that paper. So he was just all over the place. He didn't care who he was with. And he was like a gigolo. A gigolo is somebody who gets things from people, like women. So he was just out there pretending like he was a professional, outwardly, like Mr. Abdullahi explained to us, that they always look good. They always are very outspoken. They always look
yeah,
brilliant. They always look smart.
yeah,
But inwardly, they are weak people. They're very weak
yeah,
narcissists.
yes,
That they don't
yeah,
wish you good at
yeah.
all.
That word narcissist, because they are narcissists. Yeah,
A narcissist is somebody who will
yeah,
gaslight you into thinking that you're the wrong person. They will make you
yes,
think that you're worthless. They would
yes,
isolate you from people who would tell you that, what you're doing here is wrong. You're not supposed to be here. So that was why he was isolating her, telling her Islamically there is evil eye. If you do this, she said, if I post something on WhatsApp, it's evil eye. If I post something on Facebook, evil eye. If I listen to music, evil eye. Like, he almost made her go crazy during the period he was with her. She was like, he made the house like a miserable place because she couldn't, like, she was the one going out buying things. Like, he would complain and tell her, oh, I don't have driver's license. I don't have this. You have to go do it. So this is a guy that was saying Islamically. But what does Islam tell us about a husband? Is he not the person that's supposed to provide and go, doing most of the things for the wife? Abdullahi, can you tell us about that?
That's his sole responsibility. That's his sole responsibility. She is supposed to be like a queen. He's supposed to treat her like a queen because that's what the prophet did.
She
Uh,
said he would
he,
always
he,
gaslight her.
Mm. That wedding right from the onset is not spiritually ordained. It's not.
Because of the jazz, because she was not herself. Because if you're not yourself, if you're jazzed, then you don't know what the hell you're getting yourself into. You don't know what you're doing. At that point, I'm not sure if we lost Abdul. I can see you, but your screen is hanging. Can you hear me? I hope we didn't lose Abdullah here. I think his connection is just hanging right now. Abdul, can you hear me? Oh, we lost Abdul. So like I was saying, if you're already jazzed, how the hell would you know what you're doing? Of course, you would just, when they say go right, you're right. Go left, you're left. Then she just started praying and praying and praying. And that is when problems started coming in. That is when things started showing up. Like she would just sit down. The phone that he's hiding, one way or the other, something comes up. And then she would see that he has plan B. You know, all these married women that he was, going around with, some of them did not have their citizenship at that time. So they did have green card at that time. But now he saw that one of them became a citizen. So he started looking for how he would leave this woman. He has other plans out there. Because now he's looking at it like, okay, this one knows my shit. Because she said, I addressed it with him, that I've seen all what you're doing. That before you met me, I asked you, let me know who your ex are. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know who your friends are. And he's like, I don't have any friends. All the people at the mosque are not my friend. They are just, they are not good people. So I'm just, I'm just doing my thing. So she's like, you preach there. How would you say that these people are not good people? That you yourself, you are a munafiki. Then she started preaching to him that you have to be preaching, like whatever you are preaching is what you have to practice. And he started getting upset. He couldn't take it any longer. So as days went on, she said that he just came from nowhere asking for money. Oh, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. She would give it to him. And he was saying that he was going to, okay, I think we lost the Instagram. I think the account was, something happened to the account again. Somebody was trying to log in from somewhere. I guess somebody's trying to hack me again, like the last time from Instagram. I'm not going to go back on Instagram right now. We can do that. We can repost this for them after, because I have to start creating a new password and all that. So like I was saying, he saw that she was getting her senses because now she's asking more questions. She's more inquisitive. So he started getting really irritated. Then he went to the doctor. She said he didn't have health insurance. She was the one that took him so that they could get this free mass health insurance, whatever, for him. Took him to the hospital. They did series of tests because, of course, if you've not been to the hospital in a long time, they will tell you to do series of tests. And after they tested him, she was not there to get the result. That he told her, oh, they said I have heart problem. They said I have heart problem. You are giving me stress because I'm very stressed. Oh, I cannot come and die. You're giving me stress. Then he told these people that, she was giving him stress, that the doctor said he had heart problem. She said, I cried, Hajia, I cried. That I looked at myself and I said, all I did was help you. And Allah will vindicate me. She said, before she would know it, she went out and came back and he already packed out of the house. He ghosted her. So after ghosting her, she said, I didn't see a reason to, be looking for somebody who God has rescued me. Because at that point, she said, when he ghosted her, it was like her eyes were clear. She's like, my eyes became clear. I knew I was right under influence of something. Immediately, he was no longer at that house. She said, I started praying more. I started doing more sadaqah. I started doing more tahajjud. She said, and God started revealing more things. She said, he then started trying to, let me see, who is, okay. No, I was thinking it was Abdullahi coming back. Okay, I think he said, I'm back. So, no, he said network issues. Okay, Abdullahi. You can click on the request so that way I can put you back in. So, this brother, like I was saying, ghosted her she was like, I'm not calling him back. She started living her life. And later on, something happened. This same imam that did not call her after almost a year called her and told her that, what is going on now? Okay. All right. Abdullahi, can you send in the request so I can add you back on? So this same imam called her. And then when she said, you're calling me now, you did not call me when it was over almost a year that your friend left the house. Then the imam said he didn't know that he left the house. Now tell me, if it were you, do you think that the imam was not aware of that? The imam told her that he was aware that he said he was going to leave the house. And then she said, did he tell you a reason? And the imam said, he said, oh, she was complaining. That was why he wanted to leave. The imam said, he testifies that this woman was a good woman. However, he told him that you always said this woman is a good woman. So why would you then leave? That was what he told him, that he told him to stay. But she was like, when he said that, did you call me? The imam said no. She said, I called you as an imam. Did you answer my call? I left you a message as an imam. Did you, I'm putting Abdullahi Shita back right now. So she said, I called you as an imam. Did you respond? He was like, no, that I traveled to Nigeria. So I did not see.
Sorry, I have to
Welcome
change
back. Yeah, we know there's network issues everywhere. So that's fine. Welcome back.
Yeah,
So she told her story that the imam said, I was not aware that, you know, he was gone, but he told me he was leaving the house, and I told him not to leave because you're a good woman, and because I know that he's been saying you're doing well, and all of a sudden, why would he say that you're a bad woman? He said, I told him, you're complaining that, you know, everything, you're tired of everything. She's always complaining. But then she asked the imam, did she tell you what, you know, I was always complaining about? The imam said no, that he did not. So my question for you viewers and for Abdullahi today is, as an imam, I'm sitting here today as someone of authority, maybe say a judge, asking you guys this question. If I were to be working with, for, say, like I were an investigator, and they give me this case to investigate, would you say that that imam was a hypocrite or not a hypocrite? Was he aware that he was going to join these people, or he was not aware? Because he said he was not aware, that he was shocked. He said he was shocked that a woman like you was even marrying him because of your caliber, that I didn't even think that you would even go for him. That he was like, Allahu Akbar, when he saw that, you know, that was who she was getting married to. So now tell me, my own question today is, the victim wants to know, one, do you think the imam is telling the truth? That he did not know that he was joining them together as husband and wife? Two, as an imam, as a pastor, as a priest, as anyone that is in that religious power, authority, somebody, even if you're a secretary, PRO, whatever you are in a mosque or a church, if I came and told you something that my wife is this or my husband is that, Islamically or by the Bible or by whatever you worship, are you not supposed to be a man of God to call that person's attention and say, what's going on? Isn't that what's supposed to happen? Because I do want you guys to be answering, because this is something that we would have a lot of shows coming up for, because it's a long story. But today we're just dealing with the imam part. But we had to tell some of the story so that you guys can connect why Why Hypocrite Imam? A lot of people have asked, you know, I've inboxed Abdullahi, I've inboxed me, what's going on? Why Hypocrite Imam? But we have promised as Muslims not to be liars. We have promised. That is why we opened this program, sharing life issues with Her Excellency Hajia Ami, to tell the truth as it is. And we do not care about anyone getting mad, in as long as Allah knows that we're telling the truth. That's all we need. So now tell me, the Imam was telling her, because she told him, you know this guy, I do not want to have anything to do with him. I'm thanking Allah that he was gone from my life, she said, because I've seen that things are working better for me when he left me. She said, a lot of doors opened for me when he left. She said, I was myself before he came. I had a lot going on before he came. I was making it before he came, but when he came, he was like a distraction. He was disruptive. She said he complained about everything, and it was me. It was all about his card. It was all about how he was going to get his papers. Like Abdullahi said, they always are about what they want to get from you. She said this was a guy that would give her a shower. He would wash underwear even. He would make tea. Now became a monster. He was not physical, but like I said, emotional abuse is deadlier than physical abuse. So be guarded. This guy abused her emotionally. He abused her spiritually, because when you judge somebody to marry you out of when it's not their own will, that means it's spiritual. You know, my Americans will say like a psychic. It's like going to a psychic, telling the psychic to do, you know, some work. But I think Abdullahi explained that you don't even need a psychic. You can do things yourself with the Quran. Because this guy is very vast in the Quran. He has a lot of, she said, a lot of Qurans. So he was like somebody that knew it all, you know, with his head, that can read the Quran and tell you what the Quran was saying. So like Abdullahi said, you do not even need to go find another person to jazz whatever. There are things that he could do on his own, I guess. She said during the course of their relationship, he would give her things to take a shower and all that and things like that with. So our question today again is, was that Imam right? Would we ever agree when the Imam said he did not know you were the one he was getting married to? 2, the Imam came back telling her that he wanted them to come back together. Isn't that foolish? That after almost a year, the Imam coming back begging her that he wants them to come back because things can still be good. Because she was saying, if you do not give me back my money and things like that, like she would do other things. And then the Imam was telling her that they need to be together and things like that. Is that fair? And then his sisters send her a message saying that they want her to make their mother happy and she needs to be back with her husband. These were the same sisters that told her that he said he was not interested, he's moved on, because she started filing for him. So he feels he's used her. After all, she has repaired his immigration, documents. So what else does he need from her? He just has to move to the next victim to continue his, parade. So now tell me, she said, she told the Imam that this is bull crap. You're telling me to be with someone. She said, I'm thanking Allah that he took him away, because she said sometimes people cry when they're divorced. She said, I was happy because I was happier that God opened ways to let me know that this was jazz. She said, I was not even myself. So that really was like a glory to give thanks to the Almighty Allah. So you viewers today, we want to know if the Imam was a hypocrite, or if you feel he was not a hypocrite. We still need to hear that from you, because it's still surprising that somebody will say they did not know about it. Okay, you did not know about it, and you claim that he told you not to contact her when he first told you that he was leaving the house. So why are you now telling her that you want to contact him? Because she's a female? Is that why? And you feel you can just condescend on her and tell her what to do? And then the Imam is telling her Islamically, you're still married to him. My own understanding of Islam is, if your husband, like this one, I don't even know what to call him, a kafiri, because you understand the Islam, but you're not practicing it. Because I cannot understand how somebody would know the verses of the Quran, know the Quran. Well, he's no longer, but he was the elder. He was a leader, part of the leaders at the mosque. So imagine this kind of people that will wear clothes during the day and at night are sleeping with your wives. You better go and do DNA test, because you don't know, maybe the children you have at your homes are not yours. But you can't bear on, can't share it. Truth you don't want, but need to be told. I say it as it is, and I'm unapologetic about it. And who I am?
Responding to that, the position of the Imam. There are two things I looked at. But first, the Imam, the marriage hasn't, it failed the requirement. It has failed to reach the basic requirement for marriage. And he presided over, where I'm getting his fault, because for him to say he's not aware of this is the person is going to get married to, yeah, it can happen, because his own is to make sure that, okay, he presided over the wedding, and he makes sure that all the rights has taken place. So the most important people that he needs to know is who is the groom, and the giver and the taker. Okay, he's giving out, yeah, and this one is receiving. Yeah, that one is important. But where his fault is the requirement has failed. It did not reach the requirement. They did not reach. They satisfied the basic requirement of that nikah, and he presided over. So the question here is, on what motive did he presided over?
So maybe he might be aware that that guy needed the green card, and since they are friends, that's why he did it.
Exactly. That is where we are going.
Good.
That is where we are going, because finding out that the person that, a member of the mosque, a committee member, or a leader from the mosque is involved in this kind of hypocrisy, and that shows that it's a conspiracy. Everything about that marriage is a conspiracy. The imam, the imam
friend who came, there was a friend who came.
The imam should be held seriously responsible. Now I really understand why you brought up this particular topic on discussing about a hypocrite imam. I thought it's just about, okay, is there a hypocrisy in Islam? The imams, because mostly the bishops were the one. You'll be hearing stories about the bishop, the pastors, all these cases, especially in the Roman Catholic.
You know why we're not hearing ours? Because they always tell you, if you say something is wrong Islamically, you're not supposed to look for things. Like this guy would always tell her, she said, that, Islamically you're wrong. You're checking things. Allah said don't check things. That's another nonsense people use to blackmail you and to gaslight you. They'll say do not check. Allah, Islam says you're not supposed to check. You're not supposed to check. If she did not check, maybe you.
Yeah, but there is one thing. There is one thing about privacy.
Thank you.
Islam respects privacy, but you have to be honest with your partner, because your partner is a life partner.
Absolutely.
This is the one that you build your home together with. So I see no reason why you should be,
My own thing is, like you said, you should, you know, it's a woman that you build a life with. You just said. So if you are sleeping, are they not naked? Is that part of the privacy too? If they are seeing private parts, so phone is more powerful than her private.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it what it is
yeah,
now?
yeah,
Is
because
that
I
what is
believe
going on in the world right now?
one thing, these are things that we are seriously you seriously need to discuss about, because there should be a serious enlightenment, because in relation to religion, we have to discuss that, because they are using religion to
To
seriously.
gaslight her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what this guy did is practically hypocrisy. The Imam too is involved in that conspiracy, and I believe you can directly call him a hypocrite, because for him to preside over something that is not that failed to satisfy the requirement, because no true Imam will do that, will ordain that, will preside over that wedding, will give out that marriage. No, no, it's not done like that. And beside, moreover, the woman, why I believe that is just into it, I don't know,
There
but
is
this
definitely jazz
hypocrite,
into it.
this hypocrites, they are too powerful.
They are
Like
powerful, of course.
because the way God, reveal their signs, you know that these people are proud, because
They
they
know the
speak
Bible, they know
eloquently.
the Quran off head.
Yeah, they are professional. They can speak.
They're
They can
professional, you're
convince.
right.
Yeah, and they look convincing.
Thank you. They look very well. When they talk,
Yeah,
you believe
and
them.
their
They are the
conduct,
outgoing
their
people. They are the
conduct. Yeah,
socializing ones that will
they
talk to
conduct
everyone
themselves.
and make
Yeah,
you
they
feel
conduct
like, okay,
themselves.
you are the one that is a snob. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they are just doing it to get their victims.
What I want to know is the sister. She how knowledgeable is she in her date? Because wedding. They have to be approval, and from the onset, I don't know. She really fall
The
in love
sister,
with.
she said, was not knowledgeable. But like we said, this thing was like jazz walking all through.
Yes.
So
Yeah, yeah,
there's,
yeah. There's element to
there's
yeah. There's a
elements, like you said, to all of
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Because
yeah. Of
even me,
jazz.
it was when I opened my show that I started knowing about all these jazz too. I didn't believe in this.
Yeah,
Until when I was talking to Abdullah the other night, we talked yesterday, he's like, yeah, people do it by themselves. They don't need a pastor or imam to do it. You can do it yourself. I was like, what?
yeah,
So the thing
yeah.
they
That
fear me now.
sorcery.
So you just sit down and
Sorcery,
start going
sorcery.
out with somebody without even being on that
Yeah,
you don't even love. May
yeah,
God help us.
yeah. So you see, this thing is seriously a complicated thing,
See?
and it's more of a conspiracy.
It
That's
is
how
a
I look at it.
conspiracy
It's
because,
a
like
conspiracy,
you
because
said, with my investigative head, I
yeah,
know the imam is not. Something is fishy somewhere. You know, this is quite fishy because my own thing is, if I'm sitting here as the authority, okay, as like I said, as an investigator, if I'm saying I'm an investigator, and I'm
yeah,
asking the imam, you stated that he stated that you should not call her when he told you about the problems they were having at home. Number one, you are the one that joined them together.
yeah,
Shouldn't
yeah.
you have told him that Islamically, you do not tell me what to do? I have to hear from her. In Yoruba will say, Agba òṣìkà ni ẹni tó bá gbọ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ èèyàn kan nìkan. So, idanka jimagana abakimu tu ekade. That means, way, hey mama, you are not a good person, Kena.
You're
But
supposed to hear from the other
Islamically,
side.
and by the Bible, you are supposed to come and ask the two parties what happened as a good
That is
imam.
how
No
reconciliation works.
matter
Yeah.
what, you don't say because he's your friend that, oh, he told me not to call you when I told him I had to call you. Is that how an imam is supposed to, behave? But
I
now,
think
why is it that now you're having a fear that he might be in trouble? Now you're coming begging her that he wants, oh, I want to talk to him, give him the permission. But you did not agree to, give yourself the permission to talk to the two of us in the first place. She said. So why are
Yeah,
you now calling to talk to her so that they can get back together? That the imam even went on telling her she's still married to this guy. Islamically, they're not married with the understanding I have. If you've done 3 periods, you've seen your menstrual cycle 3 times, that you don't even need to go to court for anybody to say that you are not married any longer. That's my own understanding. Abdullah, if I'm wrong, correct me.
yeah, you're not wrong. What I'm seeing here is, I don't know. Uh, you see, like here we have Islamic court, we have Sharia court. You know, they do is like a customary thing. So it do, you know, it deals with issues like this. But I don't know if over there you have this customary court that.
If they do customary courts, he'll end in jail or he'll be
Yeah, that's what I'm
deported.
saying. So and
Because
where I don't know if there is a grand caddy over there, because these issues, you know, this thing,
sorry,
it
abin da
needs
ke faruwa idan ta
person of,
faɗa ma ta faɗa za a
yeah.
tura shi Nigeria. Ko ba bile so abara
But
releko.
he need to, because he is a hypocrite, and he needs to be
So
dealt
she
with.
is saying that I told her to let karma be. But like Abdullah said, she needs to report him.
Yes, she needs to
So
report him,
you
because
viewers, tell
people will
us
be
what
falling
you think
victim
this
to that.
girl needs to do.
You know, leaving him like that, you know, with karma, you know, is like you are an
Enabling,
apologetic
right?
person. Yeah, it's like being apologetic to a hypocrite, you know, because someone will fall victim next.
Oh yeah, he has a
So
lot of victims.
yeah,
Somebody who has slept with half of the mosques. What else? Who else will be the next victim? You know,
that should be next, because
if
you
somebody
may
is
go to another
comfortable sleeping,
environment.
he said, I will see text messages where like the doctor would tell him that, oh, her husband is around and she's missing him, but he's going to go back to Nigeria soon so they can continue. You
Yeah.
know, that to an extent that this person was asking him that you can tell me to divorce him and I can marry you. But you know, I only have the green card. So basically, if you have a green card, you cannot even you have to wait to have the citizenship before you do the paper for somebody. So because he's a narcissist, he did
Yeah.
not take the doctor to be with because he needed somebody who had the citizenship right away. That was
So
why
it's
he left that
I
one.
think
But now
I
that he
think
saw that she has the citizenship, that was why he ran out from that house because he had other options.
wow.
But I
So you
told her,
see,
I said,
so being
be
a
grateful
to
to
be a
God,
citizen,
you
he
know?
has to compromise his principle. That means from the onset, he is just a hypocrite, because he has already compromised his principles. You
Oh
know,
yes, this is somebody, she said, who preaches every night in their mosque WhatsApp group, that he's always posting nonsense preaching. And then the next minute, she said, if you see the amount of naked African American women on his phone, like porno stuff will be what will be there. Women from the mosque shaking their bum and doing all that. That some of the women actually confronted him and said, why are you deleting your messages? Eh? Oponu, why are you deleting your messages? Before a woman that is Yoruba will address you as that, that means ayati kope nkanjo wa larin yín. You know? So we lost Abdullahi. I'm sure he will come back, but that's fine. But there's this Yoruba saying for the jazz part. Ogun ló ní ọjọ́ ìpọ́jú, àdúrà ló lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Nítorí wípé bó pẹ́ bóyá ẹwà á sùnko. So whoever is doing jazz should continue. But know that karma would come. Because I do not see a reason why you should pick an innocent person because you want papers, because you want to use her, or you want to use him. Because like we're saying, men are going through this also. It's not just women. There are a lot of crazy people out there wearing clothes that are in our churches, in our mosques, that you guys would think they are the best, but they are hypocrites. So it's high time. I always preach to my members to leave things to Allah, to leave things to God, to let karma be. Oh yeah, send answers. Because I think, like Abdullah Hishita said, we need to start nipping it in the butt. People are getting away with a lot of things, and they feel they can continue doing it. This guy has been getting away with murder a lot time ago. There are a lot of families that will go down if this girl should open her mouth and speak, both to the officials and both to even their own partners. Because which husband would be happy to hear that somebody is helping him out with his wife? So let's not always think that people that we see praying are not hypocrites. There is a saying that that person that has tattoo might be better than the person that has no tattoo. I do not have tattoo, so do not come after me saying because I have tattoo is why I'm saying that. I don't remember having no tattoo anywhere in my body. I just say it as it is. So all I'm preaching here is have the fear of Allah. Itaqullah. I might not know the whole of the Holy Quran, but I was brought up in a home that we fear Allah. I respect my Muslim followers. I respect my Christian followers. I respect every religion that comes up here. We all have to have boundaries, like I said. However, when we are doing things with people, we have to be clean. If we came into the union by, doing jazz on people, I said it in Yoruba, so that my Yoruba viewers will understand. And for Hausa viewers, wani rana duk abin da ka yi, in asiri ne aka yi mata, ko kika yi mashi, wani rana Allahu zai cire asirin nan. So 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. Now in they talk, all of una where they do jazz now. I said that the team where they rain be that. May God and the Almighty Allah no make us fall for victim. But what I have a message for you today is, if you fall a victim of such and you find out, do not keep quiet. Use your voice to save other people so that they don't fall victims. Because like Abdullah, he said, this kind of people are very destructive. They are hypocrites that they would go elsewhere and continue. Because what does a narcissist do? That's the job of a narcissist, to continue gaslighting you to make you feel like you're worthless. So as for the people that he made her isolate herself from, probably she's sorry, but she cannot tell you that she isolated herself because of the instructions that she had to listen to her husband. But this same husband went back lying, telling people that
She is very arrogant. So what I'll leave you today with is have the fear of God. And remember, Esan, Ake, you can enjoy it now while it's lasts. Enjoy gaslighting people, enjoy using jazz on people. But one day, God will expose you. No matter how good you are, hypocrites cannot keep it up. You will see their true colors. So pay attention. And if you're a man going through domestic violence, I have a lot of cases here that have to do with men. People need to start listening to men. Men are going through hell. It's not just women. I have a lot of cases coming up too. I've just been so busy. That's why I've not known which to bring first. But we needed to treat this very urgently because she needed answers to know how to proceed. But like I said, this is a little bit of the episode. More episodes will be coming. So my people, I'm waiting for Abdullahi to see if he would come back. And if Abdullahi does not come back, can you send in your questions so that we can treat that? I'll be waiting for your questions over here to see what questions you guys have. All right. So tell me about what you think she needs to do. Tell me what you feel. I know Dr. Okpabio and a lot of you have said the Imam is lying, that he's an hypocrite. She is going to be in the comment section because she needs to take action. So she needs to hear from you guys. What do you advise her to do? I told her, let it go. Let karma deal with him. But what do you have for her? She needs to hear from you guys. Okay? Sharing life issues covers everything. Sharing life issues with Her Excellency Hajia Ami. So let us know in the comment section what you think. And inshallah, she would, read all your comments, all your questions, and we can take it from there. If we do not have any questions, I would like to end it here today. And before I end it, I would like to do a prayer that we do Islamically. It says, Bismillahillazi, la yaduru, ma ismi, shay'un fil ardi, wa la fi samai, wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. Bismillahillazi, la yaduru, ma ismi, shay'un fil ardi, wa la fi samai, wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. Bismillahillazi, la yaduru, ma ismi, shay'un fil ardi, wa la fi samai, wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. A'udhu bi kalimatillah tamat min sharri ma khalaqa. أعوذ بكلمة الله التامة من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمة الله التامة من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو حي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات ومن في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده لا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يهوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. May the Almighty Allah continue to protect you and I. Anybody that does anything to any of us, may it go back to sender. I do not wish anybody evil. Anybody that wishes me evil, evil will go back to you. And if you think you have powers, mashallah, if we die, we will still go to Allah, right? We'll all answer one day. And if you kill somebody, don't expect the person to sleep because they will come and hunt for you. So I want you to know that Abdullahi just checked on, yes. So I believe he's right there watching me. So I have done the closing prayer. I'm not sure if Abdullah is coming back on, but I think we already covered everything. Abdullahi already told us the meaning of what the hypocrite imam is. He told us what jazz is in Islam. So now, for those of us like me and you that don't know that there is jazz. There is jazz. So even with the Quran, like I have the Quran here, there's a Quran here. He said there is chapters where you can do jazz yourself. May Allah not make us find unfortunate bastards. Bójẹ́ èmi ni màá fi ba ilé ayé ń jẹ́, bójẹ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ fẹ́ ba ilé ayé mi jẹ́, kọ́lọ́mọdé ká rìn pàdé o. Na ce wai idan Allah ya san wai ku ne za ku bata min rai a duniya, Allah kare sa na san gurin da kuke. Idan ku kuma idan ni kuma ne zan bata muku duniyan ku, Allah kare sa ku san gurin da nake. So I'm wishing for you what I wish for myself. And I would like to leave it here. Oh, Abdullah is back. So let's put him back on. Alhamdulillah, I love this. Okay. Here is my scholar. He's back on here, the baddest officer. See, I love it when guys are smart, and also when, you know, he has the Islamic knowledge, and also he's out there with the government helping the nation. So let's do it. Over to you, Abdullah. I don't know if you've been hearing what I've been saying since. I know we lost you.
Yeah. I've been having network issues earlier, so
Yeah.
I've just changed location. Yeah. So yeah, like we were saying, talking about a legal authority that will handle that kind of a person, because they need to be sentenced. There's justice have to be there.
Okay. I'm nodding my head. I know you're like, talk. Okay. Abdullahi said justice has to be there. I think, I'm not sure if his network is bad again, because I see his screen hanging. Okay, I don't think he's there. He's right here. I can see him, but I cannot hear him. Can you guys hear him? So Abdullahi is saying that, okay, we lost him again. Abdullahi is saying that she has to report to the authorities. What do you guys think she needs to do? Come on now, start answering. Let's go in the comment section. Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm waiting. I'm listening to you guys. I think I put music for Una. What do you think she needs to do before Abdullahi comes back? Eh? Tell me what you think she needs to do. Eh? Oh yeah, now tell me. I'm reading your comment section. We're waiting for Abdullahi to come back. Abdullahi said she needs to report to the authorities. What do you think she needs to do? Eh? Let me keep dancing before he comes back. Eh? He's an officer and he believes this needs to be reported. So let's go in the comment section. Eh? Yeah. Eh? See as I cry like wine. Eh? Oh yeah, I'm waiting for your comments, so. All right, I'm back. I'm just waiting to see if Abdullah is back over here. I think he's coming back. Let me see. He said I just changed location for the network. Okay. Eh? So what do you think? Put your answers in the comment section. Eh? I'm waiting for your answers. She's in the comment section listening to you guys. Eh? Upon me, I'll be yours. Eh? Oh yeah. I'm listening now. Oh yeah now. Eh? Oh yeah. Ozugo. Answer me in the comment section before Abdullahi comes back. If not, I'll just end the live because I want to make sure we give him some time to get back in. If not, we're just going to end it here today. Okay, thanks, Kids Daniel. Who do we have next? All right, so what do you guys have to say? Let me see. Welcome, Kudirat Taiwo. Okay, what do you guys think? What do we do? Doctor does not agree. A couple of people I read from said they do not agree. Abdullahi said I'm having network issues. And somebody liked this. Let me see. Okay. Let me just see. Let's see if Abdullah is going to join. If Abdullah is not going to join, then we've already prayed and we'll leave it as it is. Abdullah said she needs to report the case. So what do you guys think? Do let me know so that we can take it from there. Like I said, she's reading from the comment section. So know that. Okay. Abdullah said he's changing his network location to see if he's changing his location to see if the network will be better. So let's see, because sometimes I do have network issues too, so it's everywhere. So we all have network issues sometimes. Sometimes you feel like you're just paying for these things and the service is not good sometimes. So may God help us. All right, let me just see what's going on here. I'm trying to see if Abdullahi will come back. And if he does not make it back in maybe the next 1 minute, then we'll end it here. But if you guys have any questions, let us know. You hear so sad, they give them confidence. Hey, well, who be that one? Better. Yeah. Abdullahi, are you here? If not, we'll end it now. Yeah. Nothing I cannot do for you. Now, so then go to talk. Well, I can stand for some of the guys. They tell the truth as it is. If they tell you this, then go do it. So all my great kings, I greet you. Continue being great. All my great queens, continue being good. All right. So we're going to end it here. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And have a good one. I love you all. Bye. Thank you for coming. Thanks for buying your data to come watch us. We do appreciate you. And be the change you want to see in others, okay? So be sure to write in the comment section because she will be reading all through this weekend to know what to do. All right? So we're going to take it from there and then I'll let you guys know about when the next episode will be. All right? They say not gonna catch me if you can. Okay? I play too much. Life is too short, I beg. Enjoy yourself. All right, bye.